Hello everyone and welcome back to a special on my channel. Now some of you might remember back in 2017, the UK general election, I created Bake the News where I made 650 cupcakes and decorated them out as the results of the election. And it didn't go so well, but last week we had another general election in the UK, so I thought now was my time for redemption and set myself another baking challenge to recreate the results in an edible format. Now if you want to see more baking challenges like this, make sure you let me know down below in the comments what you think, and there just might be some more on the way. For this map we had to make a lot, and I mean a lot, of sugar cookies. Thankfully it's a super simple recipe that is easy to multiply. Start off by creaming your butter and sugar together until light and fluffy. Scrape down your sides and then add in your eggs one at a time. Once that's nice and combined, you can also add in your vanilla extract. Next we want to add in our flour, baking powder and mixed spice and give it another mix through until it forms a soft dough. Now at this point you'll probably notice that it's a very soft dough, but don't worry, this is what we want, so we get a nice crunchy cookie but that also melts in your mouth. Don't add in any extra flour and don't overwork the dough. What we're going to do is wrap it into cling film, pop it into the fridge for at least an hour, and that's going to help it firm up so it's nice and ready to roll. Once you're good to go, flour your surface and then roll out your dough in small chunks to about ½ centimeter thick. You then want to get yourself a floured cookie cutter and cut out your shapes. I found it easier to move these straight onto a lined baking tray once I cut them out, and then once your tray is full you can pop them into the oven for about 7 minutes until they just start to go golden. They'll be soft once they first come out of the oven, but will harden as they cool. Keep on going until you've got all 650. Yes, we need 650 cookies. This is quite a mammoth project, but we need one for every constituency or seat in the Houses of Parliament. I've also made these star shapes because stars are on the European flag, and as you'll know if you watch the news, Brexit has been a big issue as part of this general election. Once your cookies are baking or all baked, you can then move on to making your buttercream. Again, this is another super simple recipe, and all you need to do is beat together your butter with icing sugar a bit at a time. Once it's all combined, you can then add in your milk and vanilla extract, keep on whisking until it's nice and smooth. Once you've got a massive amount of buttercream, you want to split it into your bowls and then dye them into the colours of your political parties. Kind of like Hogwarts houses, but way less cool. I then transferred these into piping bags with different tips to provide a bit of contrast on our map, and you can pop them into the fridge until you're ready to use them. Now if you've ever stayed up for a UK general election night, you'll know that I was in for a long one. The polls close around 10 PM at night, but the first results don't come into about 11, and then it continues all throughout the night into the early hours of the morning or even the afternoon. So I thought my best way to tackle this would be to lay out all of my cookies first into my UK map, and then all I'd need to do throughout the night was pipe the icing on top as the results came in. I lay some parchment on the floor, because hygiene, and then started to create my map of the UK out of my 650 cookies. With that, we were good to go, and it was just a waiting game as the votes were counted up. Now the first few results came in quite slowly, so it was very easy to stay on top of them as they trickled in. I posted all of the updates onto my Instagram story, and if you don't follow me yet, then go and check out @BradBakes for some more foodie fun. Now around 2 AM the results really began to pick up and they were coming in thick and fast. So this is where I started to Instagram a bit less and was more running around the lounge trying to figure out where each of the constituencies were to pipe out the icing. Now last general election when I tried this out with cupcakes, I was very unprepared and was running back and forth to the 24-hour Tesco to get ingredients throughout the night multiple times, and it was a little bit more stressful, whereas this time I had pretty much everything I needed apart from blue food colouring because I underestimated how many seats the Conservatives would get, which means I did run out through the night if you're an eagle-eyed viewer looking at the colour changes there, but I did manage to make a sort of blue out of some other colours that I did have, so it wasn't too bad and I got back to the map. I was very happy once we were down to the last 10 or so seats, and unlike last time, I was pretty up to date with all the announcements, so I even got to sit down with a cuppa and enjoy a bit more of the election coverage. Around 8 AM in the morning we got our second to last result, which was great news, but we also heard that we were going to have a delay with the final seat all the way until the following afternoon, and that was because of the weather. Probably the most British excuse there is, but really the weather held up the election results. And this is because St Ives is a constituency right at the bottom tip of the country, and they count up the votes for some of the smaller isles around the UK as well. Now, because of the weather storm, it meant they couldn't actually get the physical ballot boxes over to the count, and they had to wait until the storm calmed down a bit. So this was the perfect time for me to go and get some much needed sleep. Then I woke up and finished off our map. Around 3:30 PM they declared the final seat, and this meant I could finish off the map and Bake the News 2019 was complete. Although this one was a lot of work, it was definitely easier and less stressful than the cupcakes we did in 2017, and it went pretty smoothly, so I was very happy with how it looked. Now, whether or not you're happy with the result is another story, but I always find that sugar and cookies makes everything better. So hopefully you enjoyed this fun twist on the election night coverage. If you don't follow me here on YouTube or on Instagram, make sure you subscribe and follow @BradBakes for more foodie fun. And that is all for this time, but I will be back very, very soon with some new content. And in the meantime, have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon.